We start today as tensions between the U.S. and China continue to rise. More recently, after the arrest of Huawei's top executive, Meng Whangzhou. RT Sara Montes de Oca has the details. Sara, it's not just the trade war now. Now it's about Huawei's arrest that is keeping tension going between the two countries.
That's right, Scottie. Policymakers in Beijing are reacting strongly to the arrest of Huawei's chief financial officer, Meng Whangzhou. Now, court documents show that Wangzhou is fighting to be released on bail while she was waiting for an extradition hearing. Wangzhou cited health concerns, including hypertension. Court documents show that she was taken to the hospital for treatment after being detained. Wangzhou was arrested on December 1st in Vancouver on the orders of U.S. authorities for allegedly violating sanctions on selling technology to Iran. Now, the arrest came on the same day that President Trump met with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in Buenos Aires to resolve this escalating trade war. Meanwhile, Asian markets took a hit on Monday following protests over Wangzhou's arrest. Now, this after U.S. stock market plunged just 3 days ago as well, amid concerns over this trade war. But policymakers in Beijing are not backing down. According to China's ministry website, China's Vice Foreign Minister Li Yucheng said that the U.S. actions have violated the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese citizens and are extremely bad in nature. China will take further action based on the U.S. actions. Now, over the weekend, a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs summoned both the U.S. and the Canadian ambassador to China.
We hope the government of the two states can take it seriously. As for what will be the severe consequences that Vice Foreign Minister Li Yucheng warned of when meeting with the Canadian ambassador, I can tell you that it totally depends on the Canadian government.
So it also looks like tensions are rising not only between U.S. and China, but now Canada is playing the middleman, stuck in an awkward position. Meanwhile, in an NPR interview, when National Security Advisor John Bolton was asked what the message is behind the arrest, he noted U.S. concerns over intellectual property theft and technology, especially in terms of information technology. Now, this is something that the U.S. has discussed in trade war concerns with China, but notably not the charge that Wangzhou was actually arrested on. He went on to say that Huawei is one of the many companies that concerns the U.S., and although Bolton was pushed for answers, he refused to get into the specifics. Scottie, Wangzhou court case is scheduled to take place today, but this is something that could take months, if not years.
Well, that's the thing. These things are long-term. What is Wangzhou's plans long-term? Is she going to stay in Vancouver, or is she going to try to get back to China?
Well, for now, she has agreed to stay in Vancouver during the process, asking for bail, and plans on moving her family to Vancouver, where she owns 2 homes.
Well, it's very interesting, and thanks for following this. I'm sure it's going to continue to develop. Suddenly caught in the middle of the trade war between the U.S. and China is Canada. And that's where we find RT's Alex Mihailovich to talk more about the trade dispute and how the Trump administration is handling the talks. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Not a problem. Great to be here.
Okay, so the arrest in Canada is placing stress on the Trump administration when it comes to trade talks with China, and they were already stressful enough. So how is the president's trade team dealing with this situation? We're hearing mixed reviews already coming out of John Bolton.
Well, John Bolton, I think that's the big name of the hour, name of the week, maybe name of the month. When you talk about John Bolton, this guy knew what was going down. He knew that the arrest was going to happen when he was in Argentina for the G20 summit, sitting alongside President Trump. President Trump was making a deal with President Xi of China. They said they want their 90 days until they can figure out what to do about tariffs, make them go away, end this trade battling back and forth. And John Bolton knew this went down, this arrest, but for some reason the president did not. So what is the deal here? How come the president wasn't informed about this happening? And this is a lot of like backroom dealings, it seems like. Who knew in the United States government, and why did they actually push this through and allow this to happen at such a critical moment? So the way we're seeing it right now, I mean, for President Trump himself, obviously this is a type of negotiation. It's very sensitive at this point. You know that what's been happening with President Xi, what's been happening with China. And at this point where you think things are about to get better, This is thrown in. An arrest is made in Vancouver, Canada by the Canadian, it would be our Department of Justice. Our Prime Minister says that he didn't even know that this was going to happen, although he was notified someplace around the time of the arrest. And of course, he's trying to separate himself from this as well, as is President Trump, as is Mr. Lighthizer, as is the whole administration. They're saying that this is business, that we're trying to deal with tariffs, and this other thing is all about the justice system.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.